What we're talking about here is the Liberty Patch, balance and energy. This patch is on your website. It's under balance and mobility. And people say, what do you need this for? Balance, mobility, energy. It's drug-free. We recommend this product. We've got these amazing studies that show improvements in balance, stability, and strength. Okay? So this is on our website. So you can send anybody there and they can see what this product is. You see this patch here, the Liberty Patch? We say to people, do the demonstration, show the effectiveness of this Liberty Patch. There's a reason we say that, ladies and gentlemen, okay? There's a reason we say that. The Liberty Patch instantly improves our strength, our range of motion, our balance and stability, okay? Instantly. So why is that important? Right? That's the relevant question. If we're doing a balance and stability test and a strength test on somebody, why is that important? I'll tell you why that's important. There are abundant research studies that say that if there is an improvement in balance and stability, it is a direct correlation to longer life. If your balance is better, you're going to live longer. And there's studies here that show that. Health.com study, NCBI, Alumni. So these are published papers here. Okay. Number one, people say, well, why am I testing for balance and stability and strength? You're testing it because balance stability is a globally recognized biomarker that the better your balance stability is, the longer you're going to live. A more vital life, more vitality, longevity. Okay, that's why we do the balance stability test. Okay, so the question is this: is that important? It's fundamentally the most important thing that you could have is longevity. Second thing, studies, and we're going to click through them. Okay. Second thing is hand grip strength. Hand grip strength study published last year, 28 countries, 120,000 people, men and women. The stronger the hand grip, the lower our mortality rate. Inverse relationship. So the stronger our hand grip, the less likely chance of dying. The weaker our hand grip, the higher the chance of dying. Published. The links are all here. Okay? So I'm going to share some screens with you now. Where did I put them? Okay. No, that's not it. Yes, it is. Here we go. You guys can see my screen? A simple measure of longevity and health, hand grip strength. I'm going to talk more about this in just a second. Massive study published globally that stronger your hand grip, the longer you live. The weaker your hand grip, the sooner you die. Vitality and longevity versus weakness and death. That's what we're providing here. That's what the Liberty Patch does. So these are all the links I've sent you. Grip strength, secret to longevity. Lack of hand grip strength may indicate premature aging, research shows. According to researchers, grip strength aligns with epigenetic clocks that assess the age of a person's DNA. A new study builds on existing evidence suggesting that grip strength is a biomarker of their biological age. The stronger your grip strength, the younger your biological age. So if we can improve somebody's grip strength and their balance stability, we are reversing the forces of aging. We are making them biologically younger and more vital. Liberty Patch. Another paper. Grip strength, an indispensable biomarker for older adults. Another article. How a 10-second balance test may help older adults predict longevity. I'm going to stop sharing this. So these are all the links you see this. Okay. These are published papers. You can go on Google. You can see them. They're referenced in these links. You can go see these referenced papers. We have published papers on our site that show improvements in strength, balance, stability. They're on our website under the studies. You can see them there. independent papers published, others that have evaluated our technology to show these improvements. So how do you do it in an easy setting? I have one of these. This is a hand strength dynamometer. Real easy to use. You can buy it on Amazon. The junky ones cost about $50. The half decent ones cost about $150. You don't have to get it, but if you want to get it, you can do it. The balance test you already know how to do. You can do that with and without the Liberty patch. And you can test with the hand strength dynamometer. They're actually recommending here in Canada, I don't know about the United States, but the Canadian Medical Association is actually starting to recommend to their doctors that in their checkups, that they actually do a balance stability test to measure for overall health and vitality. Okay? So these are all provable things. And this is not our data. This is data that I'm going to, like I said, leave the links up there for everybody to cut and paste. This is data anybody can review and anybody can use. So when we say, well, why am I doing the balance test? You're doing the balance test. The question is this: who wants vitality and longevity? That's a question I would ask. Say, did you know that improved balance stability and improved hand grip strength are internationally, irrefutably proven biomarkers of vitality and longevity? You have the papers, you can put the links, you can do whatever you want to do. Agreed? So if I could improve your balance stability and your hand grip strength instantly, would you want to see how? I'm like, come on, get out of here. Really? Sure. Take the patch, do the before and after test with the balance, do a before test with the balance stability, do a before test with the hand grip strength, and then do it after. So let's just do it right now. So you turn this thing on. It asks you to put in male, female, age. So that's backwards on 52. So I've got no tech on purposely for this. So I'm going to start and I'm going to squeeze. So I have really strong strength anyway. So 119 pounds per square inch. That's my grip strength. You guys have done this, right? Take our Liberty patch. So what is the Liberty patch? The Liberty patch has a very precise, complex pattern of ridges. I'm going to talk about these ridges and how they influence our skin and send the sensors. These ridges are going to trigger a response on our forearm that's going to give us a neurological response for muscle recruitment, balance, stability, and a bunch of other things, right? Let me try this. Reset it. Do it again. 139.4. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. There's nothing. Look at, first of all, there's nothing in the world that does that, that improves your hand strength grip by 20% in 10 seconds. Okay. It's absolutely unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable what it does for you. Okay. So that just happened. We just saw that. So when people say, why do I need a Liberty patch? It's not so to stop them from tripping and falling. Yeah, absolutely. It's to stop them from tripping and falling. But what it represents for them is absolutely phenomenal physiological benefits of longevity, vitality. Okay. So before we go further, I want to touch on one last thing that you can search for yourself. This is nobelprize.org. This is the nobelprize.org where they hand out the Nobel Prizes. Okay. And this is why this is the roots of what's in our skin that the patches are triggering to get the result. Okay. These are the things inside our skin, these ion channels that are being triggered by touch send the signal. So in 2021, David Julius and Artem Patapoutian won the Nobel Prize in Physiology and Medicine because they discovered receptors, and the receptors that are important to us are the piezo-1 and the piezo-2 receptors, which they show are genetically programmed to send signal that they receive touch information and they generate electrical signals, neurosignals to the brain. For centuries, we saw the evidence that our skin was sending information, but they didn't know exactly which mechanisms inside our skin were sending this information. So these two really smart guys discovered these mechanical transducers, these ion channels that are in our skin, all over our body, that actually create the action potential neurosignal that goes to our brain. You can go to the Nobel Prize, look at the Nobel Prize for Physiology and Medicine, advanced information. It's all there for you if you want to read it. But let no one tell you that this is not possible. Okay, not our research. Nobel award-winning scientists have discovered the exact, and they've named them, the exact ion channels that generate the information that goes to our brain. So these are the information that you should have. You should be comfortable. There shouldn't be any hesitation in your recommendation or understanding. So how can the patch send the signal? Well, it's using these ion channels called piezo-1 and piezo-2 that have been scientifically proven and actually Nobel award-winning information and discoveries that says, yeah, they send information to the brain. That's all you need to know. Every one of our patches has very distinct ridges that generate different signals. Clear? So that's where we're at. So what does that mean? So that means every single one of our patches can use our physiology and our skin and our body to send messages that our brain needs to work. So what are the different patches that we have? What are the different things that we can use? So let's start with our different products. So let me share this screen again. So we've talked about the Liberty Patch, why it's important. You put the Liberty Patch on, it's the anti-aging patch. It reverses your biological age by improving your balance and your strength. That's why this patch is so amazing. Okay, so let's go. Let's go to our pain patch. So here's our pain patch. This is all on our website, ladies and gentlemen. You don't have to go anywhere else. It's all there. So our pain patch is great for backache, sore muscles, arthritis, joint pain, sprains, stiff neck, sore shoulders, hip pain, neuropathy, myofascial pain, musculoskeletal pain, knees, elbows, you name it. Put the patch to where it's close to, you're getting drug-free instant relief in under 20 minutes, and the relief lasts up to 24 hours. There isn't a single pain pill that gives you 24 hours relief. And oh yeah, by the way, it's non-drowsy. So our Freedom Patch is absolutely amazing and published study and FDA registered. So you don't need to worry about any of the claim possibilities on this. It's all covered for you and it's right here on your website. Okay. So the pain one is really easy because it's right there. Let's now, you know what, let's go to focus. You know what, I apologize. Let's go to, because I get this question all the time because people get confused. Let me go to attention span. Okay. The flow patch. I know there's people get confused, Jay, what does the flow patch do? So this is what the flow patch does. It's on your website, attention, under attention span. The flow patch, and we have the research there on this technology. The flow patch optimizes 5 neural networks, cognitive networks, okay? And the cognitive networks that we are aligning and optimizing are executive decision, which is the IQ part of our brain, the problem-solving executive function neural network, the one that we use for thinking, solving problems. It is optimizing our memory network, which is pretty self-explanatory, how well we remember things and how we recall those things. It is optimizing our attention network, how we can pay attention to any task at a point in time. It is optimizing our information flow network, which is how our mind shares information freely and uses the right parts of our brain for maximum efficiency. And finally, it's optimizing our mood network. Okay? When these networks all get jumbled or stop working properly, we see challenges like ADHD, ADD. We see challenges like cognitive decline. So what is cognitive decline? Brain fog, forgetfulness, onset of dementia, onset of Alzheimer's. These are all cognitive decline challenges. Okay? But because these networks are so complex, this patch is very complex and it's doing a lot of different things. We have a study going on right now that's looking at the impact of this product on ADHD, but we have the research that shows that this pattern absolutely optimizes those cognitive networks. So we can talk about those cognitive networks. We can talk about cognitive decline. And we know from our thousands of testimonials what it's doing for people with ADHD and different challenges. So that's what the Flow Patch does, ladies and gentlemen. That's where you recommend it. Well, what do I use it for? Is somebody having cognitive challenges, right? Is somebody having symptoms of ADHD? Is somebody having symptoms of forgetfulness or brain fog or memory loss? This is who it's for. Is somebody showing real challenges in their cognition, the ability to think, speak, those types of things? This is the product for them. Okay, and they can wear it anywhere in their body, and it takes about 20 minutes to kick in, sometimes a little bit sooner, but 20, 25 minutes for sure, and they see that clarity coming in their minds. Okay, that's what this patch is for. Okay, now people ask, Jay, what's the difference between this patch and the Focus Patch? Really good question. I can understand some people being confused, but Focus is solely dedicated to working on the attention network, because people can have no other challenges. They don't have any problems with memory. They don't have any problems with critical thinking. They don't have any problems with mood. None of those issues. They're sharp, very clear minds. Everything is great, but they're having a hard time focusing for any extended period of time. The attention network is the only one that's had a challenge. This is ideal for people that have to do detailed work, scholarly work, research, homework, study, music lessons, piano lessons, you name it. This is focused specifically on the attention network in our mind. And it gives the user, whether it's an athlete, a musician, a student, a lawyer, a coder, whoever it is, laser focus to stay on point, to stay on that task and apply and normalize and optimize that attention network. That's what the Focus Patch does. And it's right here on your website, and you can see it here. So I hope that gives you a big delineation between what that is, right? Between why the Flow Patch and why the Focus Patch, right? Because somebody might not have all those other cognitive issues. The only thing is focus, right? They don't have any mood issues. They don't have any cognitive ability issues. They're sharp. They're smart. Everything's great. Just can't focus. And a lot of the challenges in today's young people with focus, ladies and gentlemen, is because of these wonderful things, our cell phones and the apps on it and the algorithms that have them going from one app to another app to another app to another message to another like to another text to another message to another video. And they're just bouncing between different things. And it's actually completely eroding their ability to focus. And their focus networks are completely shot. And our patch brings it all back online for them. And they can sit there and they can do their homework and they can finish their assignments and they can study for their tests. They can write their exams and they can finish their music lesson. Whatever their endeavor is, the focus is key. So that's what this does. So let me get to sleep. Now let me finish off. Let me finish off with stress. Okay. Again, stress network. Completely about managing those times in our lives when emotionally we're at our limit. The mood network, anxiety network, and it helps regulate that response, our physiological response, cortisol response to stress, and putting our mind and then our body at rest. right? Because you could have all the best focus in the world, right? Sometimes I'm thinking clearly, I can focus, my memory's great, I have no cognitive issues, but am I ever stressed? And where's the stress coming from? It could be relationship stress, could be job stress, could be finance stress, could be anything, could be an exam stress, could be a lot of different things. And that stress gets manifested in our body and everything goes out of whack. We all know that, right? And this is a breakthrough in helping people deal with stress. I don't know if you guys know, but workplace burnout is an epidemic here and globally, right? People are just, and the bloody pandemic and the lockdowns and the isolation didn't help overall health of our citizenship and overall health of the people in our lives and actually in our countries in the world because of that added stress, right? And this is a big calming technology that just brings everything down to calm so you can deal with it. And that's the beauty of this technology. So it's got nothing to do with focus. If you're less stressed, obviously your focus is going to be better, but this is completely centered on managing our stress and anxiety levels and bringing that calmness to us. Why? There are neural networks in our brain that control stress, that control our mood, that control our anxiety. And the signals we're sending is bringing that part of our neurology back to normal, calming it down, and that's manifesting in our body. Okay, that's what you can recommend the stress patch for. Let's go to sleep now. Okay, so who doesn't want better sleep? Sleep is the cornerstone of health and wellness. We know this. If you're not sleeping well, you're probably not functioning well. But when we're recommending the sleep patch, ladies and gentlemen, you need to hear me on this. When we're recommending the sleep patch, we have to ask some questions. Okay, what the sleep patch does is helps regulate our sleep patterns and sleep cycles. But somebody's lack of sleep, there's a million reasons why they're having poor sleep. So for example, if somebody is just, and how long have those challenges been there, which is going to be indicative of how long it's going to take to get it back on track, okay? But if somebody is not sleeping because they have a massive amount of other stress in their life, like psychological stress, emotional stress, the REM patch is going to take longer for them to get benefit out of it. Just saying what it is, okay? Because it's not just their sleep pattern. There's other contributing factors to why they're not sleeping because they're just ruminating in their head. So what you do, and what I would recommend in that situation is if they're saying, listen, hey, why aren't you sleeping? Is it stress? Are you dealing with something? I ask the next question. If it's stress related, also recommend the peace patch, okay? If it's pain related, like if somebody has a really hard job and they're coming home dead tired and their legs hurt and their back hurts and their neck hurts, I can tell you why they're not sleeping. It's because they're in pain. It's disrupting their sleep quality. And in those situations, I would also recommend the pain patch. Okay? So you have to ask those questions. You have to ask those questions. Right? Because you don't want to get back customers say, well, it didn't really help me. If somebody says, you know what, I don't know why, I just haven't been sleeping well, tell them to recommend the sleep patch by itself. And it's going to work. It's going to work for them. Right? Because this product doesn't have any chemicals in it. It doesn't have any supplements in it. It doesn't have any ingredients in it. We're not actually going to compromise anything in their sleep. Okay? People say, well, what about melatonin? Melatonin is a hormone. And right now, there's so many people popping it, but they're waking up groggy. Right? They want to wake up. They want to wake up groggy. With the REM patch, you can take it off. Guess what? The REM patch is gone. You're back. You're not, all of the things that it's doing isn't doing anymore. And this is not habit forming. There's no habit forming to our technologies because we're not adding anything to our system. Remember this, we're actually not adding anything to anybody's system. The neural codes that control these different physiological functions already are in us. We're not adding anything to them. We're helping correct them so they're operating better. Right? So that's why this is so important in that regard. So we've talked about that. And then finally, let's talk about this one. Our Ignite patch. Do nothing, burn more. So there's some fun stuff coming on this. So what we've hacked is the metabolic response in our body, metabolic control in our body that our brain controls. Our brain controls our resting metabolic rate. which is how many calories we burn at rest, sleep, work, or even sitting at our desk. Right now, I'm not working out, I'm not running, I'm not walking. I have a resting metabolic rate. And if we can improve our resting metabolic rate, that means we're burning more calories throughout the day. Over 24 hours, we're going to burn up to 25% more calories. Okay, so what does that mean? That means we optimize how we're consuming the calories in our body. We're optimizing how much energy we're using. So people are telling us, listen, I'm not getting my cravings anymore. The reason you're not getting your cravings anymore is because your body now is optimizing the reserves of calories it already has. It doesn't need more intake to function. It's already got those calories and is optimizing that burn so you feel energetic. You don't feel like you need any more energy. It's already there inside you. Okay, so we're going to do a fun thing. We're going to start, so 1 day a week, Mondays, for the next couple of months here at corporate, we're going to set up a calendar, and 4 people on Monday will be able to come in and get the RMR testing. It's going to be part of our larger study that we're doing. But I want to put 20, 30 people through the office. We've got a kinesiologist going to come in and work with our team to give individuals their RMR before and after, which I think will be a lot of fun. And you'll be able to share that if you want to. It's up to you. You can black out your name, whatever that is. But that's what we recommend. Is we recommend people to listen. What are you doing to manage your calories? What's part of your wellness routine? Are you working out? Are you exercising? Are you doing different things? Hey, what if I could show you a way where you could burn more calories while you're resting, sleeping, working, sitting? Yeah, you're going to burn, and you're going to burn even more calories when you're working out or running or whatever you're doing. That's just an extra added bonus. But if we could improve their caloric burn without doing anything, this is why I like tagline, do nothing, burn more. Just by putting the patch on, they're going to burn more calories, which is going to lead to a healthier lifestyle. It's going to lead to ultimately them being able to take more control of where they're getting their energy sources and how they're spending that energy, right? And in time, we'll have some other data that'll show, hey, what does it actually mean in terms of controlling their mass, their weight, and all those different types of things, right? But right now, what we can say is caloric burn. That's what we can talk about, okay? So let me stop sharing that. So those are the big, big things that if we're all aware of this, right? This is how we use this, right? This is how we recommend our products. And our products are completely safe, meaning that we're not adding anything to anyone's body that can compromise their nutrition, their medication, if they're on some therapies, whatever that is. These are all additive. These are all supportive technologies because ultimately they're not contradicting with anything that I'm doing, right? It's absolutely really super tech that's in these products, right? And our job is to understand what the product does. Our job is to recommend the right product after we speak to that person in terms of what are they looking for out of their health and their wellness, right? But our first product that we talked about, our Liberty Patch, how do I say this? That we'll all understand. We all have phones, right? And every once in a while, we get an iOS. If we got an Apple phone, we get an iOS update. We get an update on the software. We understand that, right? So what the Liberty Patch is that iOS update. It updates everything in our neurology. Everything improves. So when we update our iOS software on our phone, the phone hardware, everything starts operating better. They fix some of the glitches. Some of the hardware starts working. We get some new features. We get some new benefits. All those things improve. Okay. Okay. That's what this is. This levels up everything. All of the other patches are like apps on our phone. They will work whether we update the iOS or not. They will work better if the iOS is updated, right? So what does that mean? All of our patches work independently. Every single one of them work better when we have the Liberty Patch on. Does that make sense? Every one of these patches will work independently. right? So the Liberty Patch is exactly this, an iOS for your body and your brain. Everything else is an app, right? So as we've said before, Maureen, I'll say it for your benefit, because we are not introducing anything to the body, these products are completely safe. They're pacemaker safe, they're implant safe, they're medication safe. I don't care what medicine you're taking or not taking. I don't care what implants you have or don't have. These do not interfere with your body in that way, because we are not adding anything to the body. The neural signals in our brain already exist there. That's why our skin recognizes them. That's why our brain recognizes them. They're already genetically programmed in our body. Okay? That's why they work so well. Because we already designed that way. We already work that way, right? And it's real simple. So people don't have to do this, but I'm saying to anybody, listen, who wants to live longer and healthier? Before we get to the rest of it, I'm saying, yeah, me. Give me 2 of those, please. Right? Give me 2 of those, please. I'll take it. Okay. Right? But is it absolutely critical that somebody wear this for the other patches to work? Because when we do all our studies of the patches, they're all done independently. There's no Liberty patch attached to the testing protocol. There's no Liberty patch attached to that study. So the pain patch, we did not test any Liberty patches with that. The REM patch study that's coming out is just the REM patch, right? Because we want to see the standalone efficacy of that technology. Okay. It's absolutely critical. It's absolutely critical. Okay. So hold on a second. Let me do that. Victory patch first. So what's the difference between the Victory patch and the Liberty patch? Small things, little things are different. So the Victory patch is more focused. It's more designed for muscle recruitment. Okay. And it's less designed for some other autonomic functions in our body. So there's only so much information we can put on 1 2x2 patch, right? So the Victory patch is designed for more muscle recruitment, for more endurance, for more physicality, right? It's designed for more physical usage of our body. Still gives you grip strength, still gives you the balance stability. This is why you can do the balance stability test. Will it give you the same benefits as the Liberty patch for longevity? Absolutely. Where you're going to see the difference in the Victory patch is strength output and peak power output. You'll get more strength and peak power output with the Victory patch, simply because we can have it recruit more of the larger muscles with the Victory patch. That's how that works. Okay. So now let me get to our Defend patch here. So Defend patch is maybe one of our most complex products. So here we go. I'll move this out of the way. Can everybody see this? The Defend patch is perhaps our most complex product. So what does it do? It does a lot. But what can you recommend the Defend patch for? The Defend patch is absolutely one of the finest tools to restore our physiological homeostasis. Okay. So the Liberty patch starts with neurological homeostasis. The Defend patch works toward physiological homeostasis. So what does that mean? The brain-body connection is controlled by some very key axis. And one of those networks in our brain is called the HPA axis. And what it does is it's always monitoring changes in our body, biochemical changes in our body, the biochemistry of our body, and it's telling the brain what to do. And sometimes that connection gets compromised and it doesn't work as well. So the Defend patch is actually regulating the biochemistry of our body, the cellular chemistry of our body, by making sure that the different networks that communicate with the body from our brain down are always having the right information going back and forth. So how does this manifest in wellness? So what do we see with it? We see a better, quicker, more sturdy, and more balanced immune response. So people are telling us, hey, you know what, Jay, I don't have allergies anymore. I put this stuff on, my watery eyes, my itchy nose, my sneezing, my coughing went away. I said, yeah, why? Why? Our body, HPA Access, recognized that there was a change in our biochemistry that was happening, and our mind now empowers our body to better regulate that biochemistry. We see it in the live blood analysis, where we have clumpy blood, plasma, live blood analysis. You put the patch on, and just a short while later, we see healthier cell walls. We see better free-flowing products. We see our white blood cells cleaning up our plasma, cleaning up our bloodstream. All those things are happening. Dr. Syl Passfield actually shared a study that we're actually expanding on right now. The Liberty patch, in conjunction with the Defend patch, actually improves the ATP production of our cells. So our cells are actually healthier, stronger, generating more energy. And what that means now, ladies and gentlemen, is that when it reproduces itself, because every cell is going to reproduce itself, it's reproducing a better, healthier version of itself. So the Defend is a big restorative technology. It helps restore our physiological homeostasis quicker, better, faster. And together with the Liberty patch, we really have this amazing 1-2 combo, right? And we're seeing so many other anecdotal things that we can't really claim right now. And it's time when we have the studies, we can do that. But immune response, protecting our body, recovery from sickness, recovery from illness. Let's give our body and our cells the energy to protect our body and to heal our body. That's what the Defend patch does. I'm going to start sharing that. Okay, so these are the big things that our technology does, and these are the things that we should all be able to use and understand. Okay, so also on our website, sorry, I forgot. I should have. Give me 1 second while I'm chatting. I'm going to get us to that page here. And what we have to be comfortable with, ladies and gentlemen, is actually sharing this information. So let me go to our website here, share again. So if we go to superpatch.com/welcome kit, it's on our website. You're going to see a ton of information there, printable assets for our business side, and those different things. But what we also have here are videos. REM patch video, pain patch video, how the super patches work, some other stuff, the demo video. And you got to be very comfortable sharing, going here, getting to the YouTube and sharing that link and saying, hey, this is how the super patch works. This is how the REM patch works. This is how the pain patch works. As we put more and more videos up, be able to do that. The demonstration videos here that I did with Ron Hoover. There's a bunch of amazing things here. Okay. And it's going to get populated with more and more and more content. But the key for us is being able to recommend the right product to everybody, right? And say, hey, this is what the product does. This is how we use it. This is how the technology works, and away we go. But think about this. We have these amazing patches and more on the way. We can help every single family in North America, right? Every single one has a need for one of our products, right? So what do I tell people? We start with this. I start with the Liberty patch because that's what you're going to demonstrate. And what's the sales proposition? What's the value proposition on our Liberty patch, ladies and gentlemen? Vitality and longevity. Research shows that if you can improve your balance and stability and grip strength and your strength, you're going to live longer, period. So is that important? I think it is the absolute most important thing you need to understand. And so let me say something really fantastic, and it sounds so egotistical, but I'm going to say it. Nothing in the world other than this improves your balance, stability, strength, and range of motion, grip strength instantly, not 30 days later, instantly, without chemicals, ingredients, drugs, therapies. That's completely safe. It's completely inert. and there's no reaction, and it's safe in every possible way. Nothing in the world will improve your balance, strength, range of motion, grip strength, and your energy levels the way the Liberty Patch does. Nothing in the world. There's nothing in the world. And it's proven. We have the research. Okay? And doesn't interfere with anything. So if people are looking for vitality and they're looking for longevity and a healthier quality of life, this will do it. This works better than the socks. It works faster than the socks, and the output is better than the socks. Why? Because it is. Because that's the way it's designed. The information that I can put into the patterns that I can develop into the patches are way more robust and complex than what I can knit into a pair of socks. Okay? And doesn't interfere with the socks, doesn't do anything. The socks is great. The socks is the progenitor to this. It started with this. This is the next level. So the socks is iPhone 6. This is an iPhone 15. You have to decide which product you want to recommend and use and which benefits you want. Right? We're progressing every year. Every year we're progressing, making things better and 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 better. Right? And what we see is that the longer you wear our products, the more gradual permanent benefits people get. That's just natural. Of course, because our mind is so great, it's got this concept called neuroplasticity. The better our mind works, the healthier our bodies work for a longer period of time, those results become more and more permanent, which is what we want. We want people to get to wherever they want to get to. We want to help them restore and recover their vitality, right? But Liberty Patch fights aging. This is the anti-aging patch. I might have to rename it something. Right? But this product is not just the next version of the socks. This product is 10 times better than the socks. The efficacy on this is so powerful, it's actually mind-blowing. Why? Because it can do more things. It can do more things. I can elicit more response out of a patch than I can out of socks because of limitations of manufacturing. Okay? So that's how this works. This elevates all of our neurology up. As soon as every function of our neurology is improved, we see a massive cascade of benefits through our entire body. So what does that mean? Everything starts to work better. It elevates all of our baseline neurology up. And we've seen the data, we've seen the brain maps, we've seen the videos. You put the patch on, and all of a sudden all the stuff that's not working right in neurology starts working right. Okay? So that's why it's so amazing. That's why it's so amazing. Yeah, Wendy, the socks are affordable, but they don't do what people need. So what's the point? Right? You can go to the local flea market and buy an iPhone 6 for $30. Everybody can do that. Right? I can't build this technology into socks. Just the way that it is. And people can only wear one pair of socks. So if somebody needs overall mobility and vitality and longevity, but they also need something for their stress, what are they going to do? They can't wear two pairs of socks, right? We have to think beyond what it's right for us in this moment. We have to think about what's right for the general consumer and how do we deliver the best possible solutions for the world. Okay? We have to deliver the best possible solutions for the world that can give them the best results, right? And if we're a marketer on this team and you're in this to market a technology, I think you also have a commercial desire to do that. This is how that works, right? You have to find ways that are feasible and economically scalable and doable. This is why this is much better. Yeah, Tracy, we got to listen, guys. We keep going back to old products. Why are we even talking about products that we don't even sell anymore? Like the old HPT patches are gone. They're gone. We don't make them anymore. This is the stuff. Right? This is the stuff. Okay. So, Anne, great question. Why is it that after 24 hours, we lose the effect? So this is what happens. Two things happen. First, when we peel it, we have to apply it against our skin. The film and the ridges over time, once we peel it and put it against our skin, will lose their integrity, meaning Some of the ridges will get flattened out. Some of them get smoothed out. Whatever that is, over time, the ridges are not being able to generate the response we need. And the time limit is 24 hours. Okay. We experimented with a 48-hour patch, and the consumer usability of it was just horrible. People hated it. Just hated it. Just hated it. Shane, there's no more Meta patch. Just Ignite patch. You guys keep asking about old product, and it's not there anymore. So there's no point talking about something that doesn't exist. So once we peel it and put it against our skin, which we need to activate against our skin, exposure to our skin, exposure to the environment, it starts to compromise the integrity of the ridges on it. And after a while, it starts to work. But this is the beauty of our neurology, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So if it was like, well, I still got the benefits after I took it off. Yeah, sometimes that's going to happen. So imagine you got a car, you're going 100 miles an hour, might be too fast. Let's say you're going safer miles. Say you're 60 miles an hour, right? And you run out of gas. Is your car going to hit a dead stop, or is it going to keep rolling? It's going to keep rolling, although there's no gas in the tank, right? When we take nutrition, if I'm taking a multivitamin every day, and 10 days later I don't take it for one day, there's still nutrition in our body. It's not maximum, it's not efficacy, it's not, I need to replace it, right? So that's why the patch needs to be replaced every day, because we want maximum efficacy on it. Exposure to the environment, exposure to the air, exposure to our skin, all those different things, sweat, skin, all those things. In 24 hours, it loses efficacy. Might there be 5-10% efficacy left over? Possibly, right? But I can't guarantee it. I know that it's going to work out for 24 hours from the minute you apply it, and it's going to go forward. Okay? And then we're going to change it again. And that's really how it works. Will sometimes the patch have lingering effects? Sometimes, yes. Can I guarantee it? No. Do I recommend it? No. Because if I know that this patch is giving me longevity and vitality, I want to make sure it's freshy fresh all the time, right? Because isn't that what we're all about? Isn't that ultimately what we're promising is vitality and energy and longevity? Right? That's why. So we tried a bunch of different things, guys. I tried to make it 2 days to do this, do the other thing. And this is absolutely the way that she tried it. Right? You can shower with them. They're waterproof, all those different things. But if you don't peel it and pull it against your skin, it's not going to work. Right? That's just the way that we designed it, because ultimately we also have to design a product that's scalable from an economic standpoint. Right? So let me put this to you in another way. The average car now costs $50,000 to $60,000, and it gets a 3-year warranty. That's it, maybe 3 years. Okay. Shane, you've missed so many conversations, man. You're asking old questions. We talked about that already. There's a 4-week supply. Right? We also reduced the price by $30. This patch used to cost $90 a month. We invested millions and millions of dollars into our manufacturing processes to bring the prices down. Right? And that's why. It's a 4-week supply. If somebody's on their smart chip, they'll never be out. Right? So this is why we got to understand what this does. I know this was a bit of a lecture. Didn't mean to be a lecture, but I want to make sure you guys have all the information available to you. And I'm going to try to do this more regularly. So, especially with the new products coming out. And I want you to, and all the new people, I want you to bring your teams to the product training stuff, okay? Because this is new. There's a lot of information there. Right? And we got to do that all the time, okay? Because I don't want a broken telephone, gang. I don't want, because I know there's so many new people coming. And if you don't know the information, you're not going to be able to share the right information. Like, look, we have thousands of associates, but 350 people came on the call today. Right? Not good. Not good. Right? We want to make sure everybody's up to date, because if everybody has the right information, then we're duplicating the right information. Right? And so we had an amazing practitioner call. I'm going to do that twice a month. I'm going to do it myself. It's just easier for me. I can make sure that the right information is getting transmitted. It's very important that you guys have the right information. Guys, this is game changing. Okay, there's people that have joined our mission, and you're going to meet them soon here in the next couple of months, that have all in previous lives and previous organizations have helped millions and millions of people with other products and other services, and they're absolutely blown away by the results that we're doing. Let me read something to you. Brand new, another very sophisticated business person, very sophisticated product person, knows a lot about. He goes, first 9 hours. Quick testimonial, he says. I used the REM patch for sleep last night and had just under 6 hours of straight sound sleep without having to go to the bathroom. Typically make 2 trips to the bathroom every night. Waking up only because my mind was racing about this amazing CRMS technology. Thanks for saying that, Ben. Also, I've had 2 really bad trigger fingers on my right hand for years, and I just recently told my wife that I was considering making an appointment with an orthopedic MD to get it treated. 2 hours ago, I put on the Liberty and Defend and the Flow patch because, I'm getting up there. And I just noticed that one of my fingers is completely normal. And the other one has about 90% normal with just a slight clicking sound. He goes, praise God, from all blessings flow. For Jay and his team who are responsible for the amazing technology. And he's so kind in those words of encouragement and prayer. But what I'm saying is, this is how fast people get results. This is how fast this happens. I just got this text at 10:17 this morning, like 45 minutes before I call. It's so amazing, right? And so I never get tired of that. I never get tired of people's lives changing for the better. And so I'll say this one thing, and if Big Pharma is listening, too bad for them. I've declared war on Big Pharma. It's my personal war. Okay. I am sick and tired of myself, my family, my friends, my fellow citizens, your friends, your families being held hostage by people who don't have our best interests at heart. And I'm investing in studies, I'm investing in researchers, and we're going to keep publishing more and more. And I am not blaming healthcare practitioners, because they are also ensnared in regulation and rules and laws and all those different things. I rely on my healthcare, I rely on my doctor, my MD, my physician to care for me and my family. Right? But the nonsense that we're exposed to, and that the only solution that we have is a pill, I do not accept. I do not accept. I will not accept. And I don't, and so this is going to be, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's not going to be easy. But I'm on it. And those who've been around with me for 6-7 years know that I don't quit. And we're on it, and we're going to get it done. And it's going to be absolutely a fantastic, fantastic ride. But this is the thing, and the last thing I'll say to you. My mission is to get to 1 billion people. I don't know when I'm going to get there, but I'm not going to get there without all of us bringing this technology to more people. What do I mean by that? You have to grow your teams. Number one, you have to start using this product regularly. Gang, you have to use this product regularly. If I don't wear this regularly, and I'm a champion of drug-free health and wellness and longevity, how can I possibly recommend it to you? You understand me? This is a direct ask, call it a challenge, call it a request, that if you are not regularly wearing this product, you're going to have a hard time recommending this product. Okay? You're going to have a very hard time recommending this product. You're going to have a very hard time people taking your word for it. Because imagine if I didn't wear it. Imagine if I didn't use these patches and I was up here telling you guys, hey, you got to use this patch. You got to get on the smart chip. You got to wear this. You got to live this because, hey, do you want a healthy, vitality, long life? And you say, yeah, and you don't use it. There's a big disconnect and people will see it. You got to get on it. Trust me, your life will change. You'll feel better, but you got to be in it to win it, right? You got to live and breathe your product. And why is that important? Because if you have a personal story of how your life changed with technology and you're sharing that story, but you're not using the product, then there's a gap. And people will feel gaps. They might not necessarily recognize what it is, but they'll feel it. They're like, yeah, something's not adding up. Something's not adding up here. So I don't feel right. Okay? This is the key. You got to get on it. You got to get on it. Because if you're not on it, if you're not using this regularly, if you're an associate in this company and you're on this mission with me and you want to recommend this product to the world and we want to change the lives of 1 billion people and want to take on healthcare, but we're not leading from the front and we don't have this on our arm every day. Okay. But just know that people aren't going to believe you. That's me talking straight talk, right? People will not believe you. People will not believe you. So I wouldn't expect you to believe me. If I show up at an event and I'm not wearing this product, I'm in front of you here, not wearing my product, it's called being a hypocrite, and I will not be that. That's how I roll. Straight talk, always, right, guys? You gotta be in it to win it. So that's it. That's it. Let me go. And we will talk to you guys very, very soon. Like Charlene Wolf, my goodness gracious, how are you and how's my brother Stephen? I hope I can get you. So Dr. Stephen Wolf is a brother in the Lord with me. He's a dear friend, absolutely committed. He's a spinal surgeon, genius in human being, one of my favorite people. Just great. Can't wait to talk to him soon. Yeah, we're changing the world, gang. There's nothing in the world that does this. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Big things are happening. Huge, massive things are happening. Stay tuned. Stay positive. Get the patch on you. And let's go. Have a wonderful evening.